Road to Rock. Long episode. Song of the Day. Hail to the King by Avenged Sevenfold. Year 2013. Genre, heavy metal. The year was 2013, and rock radio was shrinking under the glow of pop and EDM. Metal was splintered, extreme on the fringes, nostalgic at the core. Then a California band stepped onto the battlefield and planted a flag. No apologies. No labyrinth of riffs. Just a crown, a stomp, and a statement. Avenged Sevenfold had already walked through fire. The loss of their brother had changed them. The party had ended. The mission had sharpened. With a new engine behind the kit and a world watching, they aimed not for speed, but for weight. Not for chaos, but for command. And then it hit. A riff like a war drum, mid-tempo, monolithic, space between the notes where confidence lives. Two guitars speaking in harmony like twin blades. A vocal line carved in granite. You could hear the records they grew up on. Those titans who taught metal how to stride, not just sprint. This was a deliberate pivot. Where modern metal often stacked layers on layers, this track stripped the room and turned the lights low. Every snare was a boot on stone. Every chord, a decree. The groove did the talking. The swagger did the rest. For fans, it felt like a coronation. After years of turbulence, here was clarity. A song about power that doubled as a band, claiming its place. The emotional strike wasn't in complexity. It was in inevitability. You don't argue with a riff that feels like gravity. Behind it, the band moved as a single machine. Guitars locked like gears. Bass hammering the foundation. Drums with a heavy human swing. The kind that makes heads move before minds decide. It wasn't nostalgia. It was inheritance honored and reforged. The cultural moment amplified it. In an era chasing streams and fleeting hooks, this cut sounded built for stone and steel. Stadiums swallowed it. Gyms and locker rooms adopted it. Festivals turned into courts, and the chant became a rite. Critics heard echoes of the old gods. Younger listeners heard a gateway. The track bridged eras, classic motifs delivered in modern armor. It gave permission for a new wave of bands to rediscover the power of restraint, of groove, of a riff that speaks plainly and loudly. On stage, it became a signature moment. The lights, the fists, the pulse. On record, it was a line in the sand. Avenged Sevenfold weren't just survivors of a scene. They were architects of a throne room built from their own scars. Years later, the crown still gleams, not because of charts or trends, but because the song does what the best metal always does. It walks in with presence, commands the room, and leaves you taller than before.